Okay, I got sick of waiting, so I just went. How is everybody? As you can see, I don't have a co-host yet. Oh, there's Matt. He just popped in. Matt, I'm actually. I'll give you a minute to get your stuff ready. I'm going Avatar this time, so if you want to just go with an Avatar, that's cool. Mostly because I just didn't feel like getting ready and looking okay. So, and also, I thought this was fucking hilarious. I thought the limp sorted He-Man was fucking funny. So, but yeah, I'll bring in Matt right now. Oop, what the hell? Where are, there we go. Oh, why is it not actually showing you? Matt, can you hear me? Oop. I'll give you a minute to figure out your technical stuff because I can't hear you. But in the meantime, how is everybody doing? We are a little late today, but we're here to talk about all sorts of random stuff. And I would like to start out with an announcement that going forward, this will be a weekly show. I realize, there we go. There's Matt. Because I realize that it's hard for people to get into a rhythm if we're not on every week. So I will be doing this every week, whether or not I'm gonna have a rotating panel of guests for the most part. A lot of familiar faces, people that just keep coming back whenever. Might be the same people every week for all we know. Speaking of which, I have a
Oh, can
couple
you
of.
hear me?
Now I can hear you. What's up, Matt?
Sorry, I don't know what was going on. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I held the fort temporarily. I was just letting everybody know that this show will be weekly going forward,
Yes,
and
yes,
yeah,
yes.
and maybe like from week to week, we might not even cover what is currently in theaters or on TV. We might just talk about something older, just have fun. Because that's really what this show is about. It's not necessarily the whole point is that it's totally irrelevant, right? Like we can talk about
Correct.
whatever the hell we want. We're irrelevant. The topics can be irrelevant.
Tits, baby, tits.
Tits, but where the tits are getting bigger, they're getting fuller. That's what's going to end up happening. But I do have a couple of people that are making their return today. Actually, the second week in a row for this guest, and that's he's definitely not in a Mario game. Even though I have decided that that was probably one of the best things we could have used him for in an intro. But instead, he's just a review bomb. Why is everything? Is it just me or is it like screwing up? Does everyone else see it differently? Okay, there we go. It's slow. It's adding people slow today. What's up? What's up, Bommy?
What's up, Bomb?
Babam. Oop. You are on mute, by. Can
No,
you
I'm not.
you get now? You're
No, I'm
not.
not. No, I'm not. Okay, sorry. I don't know what happened. Anyway.
That was I muted you. So
Oh,
because if we don't mute if you aren't muted and you make noise during the intro, it just catches it anyway.
okay.
So,
Hi. Nice to
hi.
nice to be here
I
again.
like
Thank
I
you.
like your incredibly homoerotic scene that you have of Triclops and He-Man there. That's
Well, just embracing what He-Man has always been. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
there we go.
Here you go, man.
I know that you saw the movie. Matt, I didn't get a chance to ask you, but I'm guessing you saw the movie.
I
I
did see
did.
it. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, okay. And as for our second guest, this is actually the first person I talked to about this movie. I called him right when I got out of the theater, and we talked about it for about a half hour on my way home. And that's the blue collar loser,
Look,
who's
I got Avatar.
right now he's the purple hooded uh, skeleton apparently.
Yes. Down camp real quick. So yeah, I told everybody. So I bought this one. Look, the He-Man right here. Adam and the He-Man for the cup. And he looks like so annoyed right here. Like just fuck everybody. That the Skeletor one's right here. It's like without do it the staff. So that one's not bad. And a popcorn bucket. I'm like, I couldn't help it, guys. So there's the look He-Man Skeletor and hey Regal, but I think I'm probably the only person, yes, on the planet that saw this film twice, and I don't care. I had fun with it.
Oh man. Okay.
By the way, I just want to say that this Avatar was one of the hardest ones I ever had to make because for some reason AI does not understand when I say, "Hey, I want a limp sword. I want it to be limp." Like I explained it in every way. I was imagine a weeping willow, but it's a sword.
I mean,
Uh,
it sort of sums up the movie, so that's
yeah.
good.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's kind of what I was going with. Is it? Unfortunately, and obviously that's going to be our first topic. We'll get into a few other things. Make the sword like a noodle. Honestly, at one point I got so frustrated with ChatGPT. I was just like, make it like a dick that can't get hard, damn it. And it was like, That's against the rules. I was like, He-Man. But it honestly, it is that the film itself was solid, not amazing, not like the most amazing thing anybody's ever seen. It's not groundbreaking by any stretch,
Nope.
but it was definitely needs Blue Chew. Yes, this needs Blue Chew. But I mean, I don't know. I haven't spoken with Matt about it, but I briefly spoke with the review bomb, and I obviously spoke with Blue Collar Loser in saying that it it was basically as good as it possibly could be, and that wasn't enough. We'll go around the horn. Initial thoughts, I guess. You know what? Let's start with you, Matt, because basically I haven't heard from you at all about it.
Well, I absolutely fucking hated it. I thought
Okay.
this was an absolute piece of shit. One of the worst films I've seen this year by far. Like
Okay.
it was aggravating to get through. Like I just wanted it to end. The biggest problem with the movie is, well, I mean, there's lots of problems with it, but look, they totally cuck He-Man, like they do. Um, like they fucking HR wins the day at the end of the movie. You know, like he literally says, "Hey, can we talk about this?" to Skeletor. What the fuck? And he utters the phrase, "Can we end the cycle of violence?" What fucking man has ever uttered those words before? It was the gayest shit I've ever fucking seen. Absolutely annoying. Yes, I get it. It's based on a cartoon. What do you expect? So yeah, there are some of those elements at play, sure, but at the same time, they can't even make one of those straightforward movies anymore based on a toy. Like they can't help themselves. Like I don't know who wrote the. I was going to check the writers of the movie before I hopped on, but it
I mean,
just
I can check for you right now.
it felt like women wrote this script. And like even the little PSA guy comes up at the end. He's like, "Hey guys, just so you know."
Orko.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, just so you guys know, it's not always about your strength and brute force, whatever the fuck he says. And it's like, yeah, it is sometimes. Shut the fuck up. It's like, telling little boys that watch this shit, like this movie, and like playing with toys and blowing shit up. Oh, that's wrong. You can't do that. So you have to talk to each other. It was just fucking stupid. Oh yeah, I hated
So
it.
it was four dudes who wrote it, by the way.
Okay, well, I can only imagine what they look like then. So,
I mean, there's no, I don't have any pictures of them, but
a
the
steady
guy who,
soy diet.
ironically enough, one of the guys who wrote it was the guy who wrote all of the Expendable movies.
Okay, well, all right.
Um,
Fucking polar opposite. Those movies suck too, by the way. But this movie was just I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And then thankfully, Bobby felt pretty much the same as me, so I wasn't alone on this. But obviously, it seems like our opinion is very much in the minority on this one. I don't get it. I really don't. I thought this was terrible.
I mean, I don't agree with you, but I respect your opinion. But I will let everybody else go first before I go into it. I kind of already went into it the other day on Open Bar, so I'm going to let Chris. How about you go
Yeah.
next?
Oh, like you said, man, there's opinions vary. I can see why people hate it. I can see why people love it because as much as Matt or anybody like that, well, that guy Tom kind of like went kind of ape shit there, neurotic shirt out.
Oh, Tom Connors.
Like you said, open bar. I mean, it was just like it was everyone kind of agreeing with it, but I also see like why people didn't like it. Remember the first thing Yumi said walking out was just like, I think that for He-Man, people, I didn't walk in expecting Lord of the Rings or fucking like something like a deep dive of like the human experience, like Amadeus. It's He-Man. It's
Hey, neither did
goofy.
I.
Yeah, it just, but I mean, yeah, there's definitely some
I
problems.
did.
Like, I think like well with it's I mean especially watching the fucking Kevin Smith Netflix show, this was 10,000 times better. It's definitely like people said too long, and the jokes some land some don't. But I don't know. I think just I didn't have like the biggest expectations after watching that fucking Kevin Smith show. But I just damn sure I thought Jared Leto was hamming it up so bad, and the whole point like Skeletor, like you know what? There's no deep dive, there's no deep like philosophical like wisdom to me. I'm just evil and it feels good. But I still think my favorite part was like He-Man, you're not sure what to do with your power, and he goes, yeah. I've been pulling my punches, and with the way he fucked up Skeletor, I kind of felt bad for him. But I don't know. I just I think it's just He Man. I did, even if it got like 100% user ratings, like we said before, Russ. Backstage that like the 80s, it's hitting this trope now, man. Like besides Transformers, like a lot of 80s IPs aren't as strong as they used to be. But I thought it was a fun comedy. Even my kid said though, I watched Scary Movie 6 back to back. My son laughed way harder at this than Scary Movie 6 because that was fucking terrible.
Just a quick aside. I didn't get a chance to really say hi to the chat because I just kind of started. Hello, Piping Cynic. I don't think I've ever seen you before, but hello. Uh, Bia 3388. Hello to you as well. I didn't even. I completely forgot to like tweet this out. Starting next week, we'll start the like Twitter stuff. Just kind of this week went a little weird, but yeah. I mean, that's two very different takes on exactly the same movie. So, review bomb. Let's see. I guess you'll split the difference between these two.
Yeah, so I will say that I did not really like this movie at all. I'm gonna have a lesser disdain for it than Matt does, who seems to have a very visceral reaction to the movie. Me myself, I just was like, whatever. I seriously do not care about this at all. That being said, it was better than I expected it to be, but those expectations were pretty much as low as they could have possibly been. I will say there was some decent performances. The best being Idris Elba, which I mean he's good in just about everything. Uh, Consistently, the best part about movies that aren't so good. So good for him, I guess. The guy playing He-Man was pretty good. Unfortunately, he's essentially just doing a Thor impression, especially from Thor 1, which we can talk about later. Jared Leto, whatever, didn't really care. The rock music elements of it, I thought were good. The rest of the music, pretty generic. And then as far as just the way the movie feels, it is just tonally all over the place. It can't decide if it wants to be a lighthearted fantasy or a parody of He-Man. Sometimes it goes far into parody, and especially at the end, involved where Skeletor's at the gym. I was like, "What the heck is happening now?" Like it can't decide what it wants to be. Sometimes it wants to embrace the cartoon with the character designs, which I thought were pretty clever, and then it seems to be embarrassed by the cartoon, constantly undercutting everything with a joke and and telling me how stupid or silly something is. And again, I'm saying this as someone who's not a fan. So when I'm watching it, I want the movie to make me invested in what I'm seeing. And that doesn't mean it has to be a serious drama. It certainly doesn't. But I still want to care about what I'm seeing. And you can't expect that to happen if the movie's constantly telling me, don't worry about it. It's all stupid anyway. So, again, slightly better than I expected it to be, but overall didn't like it at all.
Okay, that really didn't split the difference at all. Actually, now that I think about it. So I'm more in camp with Chris on this because I just tweeted it. I did not put a special tweet together. I have to restart my Christmas.
Uh,
My biggest problem is I forget to do that kind of stuff.
I did it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Douchebag.
So I did not think it was the biggest piece of shit I've seen all year, as Matt did, and so I don't even know how to put this because you guys kind of covered everything. I don't necessarily agree that it ends up being a cuck way of doing it with He-Man because I think
I don't know, man.
I think the entire time, personally, I feel like they try the words and they never work. And I feel like it made fun of that more than it actually embraced it.
Dude, but at the end though, like it's basically saying HR triumphs over all. Like that shitty fucking crappy corporate mentality. Again, and like Idris Elba, great actor, and he's good in this movie. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. But even what they do with his character, of course, like he's just the washed up fucking Han Solo cuck non-version of himself. And of course, like he he flat out says to his daughter, "You're the man I wish I was. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck this movie." This movie sucked ass.
I took that as like him making the joke, like you're the man I'm supposed to be. Because she looks at him, she has her eyes like, thank you, and it's the people in my audience were laughing, like that was a joke, like you're the man, you are the man I wanted to be, and I guess depends on how you look at the comedy of it, you know.
Well, okay, but like aside from the pronoun game, whatever, but
Yeah,
it's also just her being better than him, of course, you know. And then when she's introduced in the beginning, of course, she kicks ass and He-Man sucks, and yeah, he's like you know what Baum said. He's like fucking Thor in Thor Part One, just like that sort of like fish out of water thing, you know. But
yeah.
it got old real fast, and he just sucked. It was also kind of weird that like when he first turns into He-Man, and like his clothes come off, they like made him skinny, and then like he turned to buff. But it's like clearly before that happened, he had like a shit ton of muscle on him already. So I'm like, well, what was the point of that? Okay, whatever, fucking stupid.
Yeah, I feel like the pink shirt, they kind of like purposely padded the shirt to make him look like he was skinny, but then you see him like actually with his shirt off because they couldn't do the whole like Chris Evans, Captain America, like CGI skinning him down, you know?
Well, but he was like, you know, he got in great shape for the movie, and
Yeah.
you can see the bulk on him when he's like wearing just the pink shirt.
Yeah.
So it was just weird that they did the whole like skinny Captain America thing for a second, you know, before they put the muscle on him. I don't know. Like again, I fucking hate Thor Ragnarok, and I have not seen Love and Thunder.
Oh
I
boy.
know I'll fucking hate it. But
Well, yeah,
this
if you hate Thor Ragnarok, then obviously this movie is going to elicit a lot
this
of negative reaction
this
from you.
feels like Thor Ragnarok on Down syndrome. That's what this feels like. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did not fucking
I
like
do
it.
wonder, Matt, because I guess you and Bob, people have commented on this and watching a second time. I felt like, is the meta commentary because he wasn't raised in Eternia, that he was raised in HR? That's why Adam is a pussy. Just showing the fact that, like, this is what being an HR in the Earth is. Because once he goes back to Eternia, then he becomes a badass again.
Well, I don't think he's really a badass once he gets to Eternia. He's still kind of like, you know, trying to talk to them like he's in fucking HR. Like, oh, I'm good at this. Like, shut up, dude.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was the whole point. It's like he's trying to talk like Earth terms and it doesn't fucking work. Like Man at Arms, he says that part. Like, you know, poets don't win wars. And then it's like basically once he has become He-Man, sometimes violence is the answer, and he just goes fucking like Dark Hour said. His biggest problem is in the cartoon, He-Man's so overpowered. It's often that Superman trope. It's hard to write him. 'Cause
sure.
when he's
Yes.
actually because he's pissed, as we see at the end. The second his eyes glow and Skeletor is like, oh shit. Again, that whole sequence is like embarrassing Skeletor, showing the actual power difference between the two of them.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, all of that's true. But I don't know.
So here's the thing with me is I really think it's up to interpretation how you read it. So I can get what you're saying, that it was definitely you know, he wasn't necessarily the hero that the old cartoon depicted, or even the comics. But
No.
at the same time, I never at any point felt like this was embracing the talking as the way to get out of that. It is the first step is what I embraced. And then eventually it runs out and you got to punch a motherfucker in the face, and that's basically what happened. And it to me, this was a story about, just because you have power doesn't mean you have to use it. And that's a thing that I've actually lived a lot of my life. You know, I've always said that one of the greatest ways to reveal character is to give them the ability to harm a person, put them in a position to harm someone, whether it be physically, emotionally, financially, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And however, what they do with it in that moment is really who they are. In this instance, it's physical power. You know, but it could be, and that could translate into so many other things. And I think that that's really what the message was. I don't think it was that you shouldn't use it that you shouldn't use it first, was really what it was. That's me. That's what I got out of it.
Sure.
I mean, you don't have to like it. We don't have to.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
like, you
I
know.
do wonder because again to Matt and Review Bomb, like I've been watching like a lot of clips from the '80s, and like I wonder if like when I was 5, I remember He-Man being like the show more serious than I remember. Then looking back, some of the Skeletor clips and He-Man clips, I'm like, oh, this cartoon is not.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. But the whole thing is like if you were to take this movie He-Man and put him in the cartoon somehow, or
Yeah.
just introduce actual He-Man from cartoon to this He-Man, he would laugh at him in his fucking face. And
Yeah.
also, like, okay, for me, going into this, I didn't expect much either. I knew I probably wasn't gonna like it. I didn't know I was gonna flat out fucking hate it though. But I was just hoping, you know what? Maybe it'll be better than the Dolph Lundgren version, you know?
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I enjoyed the movie. I always knew that it was shitty, you know, but like I
Yeah.
still enjoyed it for what it was, like kind of a
Yeah.
Star Wars ripoff back in the day, you know? And uh, you know, but when you go back and you watch it and you're older, you're like, holy shit, this movie's fucking terrible, you know? But I would rather watch that piece of shit than this piece of shit, you know? To me, Dolph Lundgren, who ends up being sort of like a secondary character in that original film,
Definitely.
which sucks, but like he sort of embodies what He-Man is more than this new kid's got the look, you know, they did the costume, and it's also funny, little side tangent here, that the costume, he's like allowed to have the loincloth basically and dress the way he does in the cartoon, but Tila's got to be she's got to wear pants, you know. Get the fuck out of here.
I do like the joke. You guys in the joke. It's like, what happened to my clothes anyway?
Yeah. So yeah, but again, I just I preferred the shitty Golden Globus Canon Films version than this garbage that we got.
I can see that. I always felt like, yeah, like I said, in hindsight, looking at the Dolph Lundgren film, that felt like they were trying to be a serious film, but they had no budget, and it wound up just being a shitty serious film. Versus this one, it's like they were trying to go for the campiness, and that's why. But I could see why the campiness turned a lot of people off for it. And like I said, I often wonder if, like, with rose-colored glasses, like He-Man, it's just like Transformers. Some people take Transformers a lot more serious than it needs
Yeah.
to be. You know.
Well, no, I do agree with that, and I think that you're right about what you're saying. Like we grew up with He-Man, so like we had this idea of what those cartoons were like. Then you go back and you watch them, and yeah, it's not the way we remember it. But I still don't. I think that there's just if the movie were able to capture the same kind of cheesiness as the cartoon, that would have been the right thing. But they don't. It's cheesy, but for like modern day cheesy reasons.
I could see that some of the jokes are like with HR jokes, and that's why it makes you wonder what the whole these IPs. It's like I guess the only way to make the IP truly work is you'd have to have the entire film only be in Eternia, because bringing him into modern 2026 Earth, that's where the problem happens with modernizing stuff.
Yeah, and like at the end of the day, there was really no point to him going to modern day Earth. Like there's just they had to get the sword out of there. That was the main thing. But
Yeah.
to me, that could have just been fixed in the writers' room. Like you could have just come up with a different idea to keep it in Eternia, or if you go to Earth, just have a better reason for him to go to Earth. And plus, he's on Earth now. I have all these questions like, who the fuck raised him? Who found the
That's probably my
sword?
biggest problem with the with it is that nothing about his time on Earth is actually explained except that he has a job. That's really
Yeah.
my biggest issue with it.
Yeah, so it's like, does he have like Ma and Pa Kent basically, and he sees them as like his real family now? And like, what the fuck? Like, I don't. Yeah,
I think if they did that, there would have been too many Superman parallels.
100%.
Yeah.
So they granted, I would like that was the first thing that went to my mind too. I was like, so he was adopted. Who adopted him? He has a degree to get this HR job. Where did he go to school? Like that was just where my mind was going.
Yeah, all we get is that retarded roommate who sucked and was like fucking not funny at all.
Yeah, but I was also like, if he does have parents, how did they cope with the fact that, to them at least, their son has this very vivid delusion that he's lived on another planet, and he's not been able to break that delusion his entire life. But
And that could have actually been funny, like his parents acting like that, like okay, you know, whenever he tells his like fantasy stories, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't get any of that.
No, I don't disagree with that. I remember like when me and Dark first talked, his exact words, he's like, "This is definitely my definition of a turn off your brain film." And I walked out saying, at best, I probably would give this film like a 5 out of 10. I just like enjoyed, again, seeing the audience both times. People were just busting out laughing. I think people like Godzilla versus Kong. When I seen Godzilla suplex King Kong on a fucking pyramid, I'm like, oh, I know what you're going for, and the audience knows what you're going for.
I just threw out the invite to some more people, so people will be probably popping in. First is Rhodey, who hopefully doesn't get disconnected sound wise this time. Rhodey, are you
I
there?
don't know. Let's check. Can you guys hear me?
We can. Sounds
Yes.
like you're in a fucking tin can, but we can hear you.
I actually like that. I like that it sounds like he's on a CB radio.
I thought I would try something different and try broadcasting you guys on fucking Earth for a change.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And while I was here, although I have very little, actually nothing to say as far as the movie Masters of the Universe is concerned. However, as far as the Masters of the Universe promotion sandwich at Denny's, I have much to say. This thing is actually really fucking good. I'm telling you. You guys got to check this fucking thing out. Beef patty, pulled pork, bacon, cheese. I forget what kind of fucking cheese because the barbecue sauce is really. You don't believe this is from Denny's. My only complaint is they fucking dick you in the fries. You don't get very many fries of this fucking thing because Denny's is starting to close their goddamn truck stops. Their truck stop locations. Like several of my favorite places around the country, they're disappearing. They're being dusted like the fucking end of Endgame. So, get your hands on this fucking sandwich while you can. I'm telling you, it's worth it. And time is running out. I'm not being paid for this. I'm just telling you. I really
This
enjoyed
is
the
not a
burger.
paid advertisement, I swear.
As far as the movie, I don't know a goddamn thing.
Um, that was one thing I was joking about was of all the things, all the places for this movie to have its advertising done, its marketing partnership was with Denny's, the Burger King of chain diners. It's not even it's not even the best of the chain diners. It's not even the IHOP. It's the secondary one. And the one thing I do want to say, and I don't like touching on, money like a lot with these movies because really in the end we're not, none of us are accountants, and there's other ways for movies to make money that aren't just the bottom line of the, the box office. But this is really fucking bad. This box office. This is about as bad as it possibly can get. What was it that it ended up making globally? Like less than 50 million globally.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact. It was like 46 or something, wasn't it? I
Yeah,
don't. Yeah.
It says
and
ad-
it's
yeah,
it's
sorry.
it's not going to get any better in the second week.
No, it's probably
So
gonna have a 70% drop next week,
Someone,
if not more.
someone just tweeted an hour ago saying it. Oh, say today it earned 2 million. So right now it's at 56.2. Right
yeah,
now. Yeah.
That's
that is
domestic,
an
right?
obnoxious. Yeah,
Oh,
well,
no, that's actually worldwide.
Oh,
then that
oh shit. Okay, yeah.
that's an obnoxious
Yeah.
amount of
Yeah.
being not making money. I don't even know what the term. This just hemorrhaging money. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
because what was it? It was like a $200 million budget almost, or like 175 or something like that.
Basically, you figure, well, 175 plus the marketing too. So
Yeah. And I don't like to do that, but even let's just take the marketing out of it because I'm just gonna guess that Denny's paid them because that's the only way they got that fucking license. But let's just do the standard super simple 175 times 2. So 350. Just to maybe break even, possibly. We know that's not the real number. It's not even going to get close to that.
No.
It's not even going to be a little close to that. This is probably, I'd be shocked if this breaks 100 million worldwide.
Yeah, this is a massive, massive bomb. So it's done.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a company that can take a hit on it, it's Amazon. Because Amazon just in the amount of time we were just speaking, Amazon just made $40 million. In the amount of time we were just talking, but that was one problem I had with it toward the end is they clearly thought we're putting the cart before the horse by doing the She-Ra thing at the end, trying to set up for not only a sequel but a spin-off. And I do wonder how much, because we were just saying how there's a lot of missing pieces, right? I wonder how many of those they intended to fill in later.
Right.
Because was there going to be, in a story like this, you can get away with that very first, oh, well, I didn't mention my parents from back home because it wasn't relevant. I wasn't here that long in Eternia for the movie, So it is possible, but they would have eventually had to bring that up. And I'm wondering if that was going to be in that, or if they were just going to completely ignore it and just be like, hey, oh, Stupenzo is here. Hold on, I'm gonna bring him in as well.
Let
I
me
shot him a
do
I shot
my
him a link as well.
What's up, Stupenzo?
hello.
How's
Let
it
me
going,
see. You
man?
got my He-Man affiliated or He-Man logo, He-Man style avatar.
Jesus.
All right,
Nice
we're good.
abs.
I don't know why
Oh,
it
yeah.
won't let me change it before I come into the room.
It is
Hold on.
weird. It is
Hey,
weird.
we're
Anyway,
evened up. We got 2 skeletons, 2 He-Mans.
I was
Well,
gonna
there's
do
technically three
Skeletor,
He-Mans
but
here. One's just being anally
yeah,
invaded in review bombs picture
I
there.
thought I
Oh
should give
shit! Yeah, he
the
is.
He-Mans. I thought I should give the He-Mans another one.
I just now noticed that bomb. How the hell did you do that?
And he's just using OBS. He just put it
Magic.
in. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, go ahead,
I'm.
Stupenzo. You can give
I mean,
your.
I'm not surprised the movie is doing well badly. It's not.
Neither am I.
It's not the most popular property, especially internationally. I I personally, I didn't think the movie was as good or as bad as people are saying. I didn't laugh as much, but I found it funnier than Scary Movie 6, which I found to be terrible.
Yeah, that was a piece of
Uh,
shit too.
Yes, I
that
agree.
was really bad.
Yeah.
I think we could agree this is better than Scary Movie 6, even if you hate this movie. Like Scary Movie 6 was it was bad. I was upset with that one.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. But Scary Movie 6 is shorter, so I'd probably rather watch it than this.
This was too long for sure. I'm in the boat that see. It seems like people think that I'm in the boat that the Eternia stuff at the beginning should have been. I feel like there's a specific moment when we get the crescendo line that it just veers into goofiness from there on. Where the first like 20, 30 minutes are pretty straightforward and serious. And then I don't know. I saw a lot of people saying that a lot of the Earth stuff needed to be shaved down. I actually like that stuff a bit, especially the HR lady who looked like Abomination AJ. She was her ream job monologue. I thought was very funny. Like I think they could have worked in any other movie too. About a business or an HR department. I thought that was a fun line, fun monologue. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know a whole lot about He-Man. I had a Cringer, what was it, Battle Cat, the green tiger thing? I had a toy of a
Yeah.
green tiger for like the first 10 years of my life. I didn't even realize it was from He-Man until someone told me. I was like, oh, I just like the green tiger thing. Um, I thought the movie was, it was better than Mandalorian. It was better than the summer crap from last year. I gave those all like C minuses. I'd give this one like a slight edge with a C plus, just because it was fun. It didn't take itself so seriously, and I gotta give points to showcasing Tila's ass a lot. Also, Jared Leto's Skeletor. I do feel validated. In the early promotion days, I was like, I'm liking what he's doing with it, and he was, to me, like a strong point of the movie. I loved how he was. It seemed like he was secretly in love with He-Man or something. That was kind of weird and funny. The whole working out. The image of him in a purple Nike hoodie just went so hard. If you looked at his HR shirt, his business casual outfit, his tie had little bones on it. I know it's stupid, but it just tickled my funny bone a little bit. I thought it was also the date scene from the beginning. I mean, I feel like the jokes, I didn't get like a lot of ha-has, like laugh out louds, but I was like, oh, okay, they're doing something not what I thought they were going to do. It was less generic than I thought it was going to be.
I was more interested in his date because I was like,
Yes.
she's really hot. Who is this? Who is this?
Yeah.
lady?
Wait,
And again, it's like
wait.
even the gay, annoying roommate knows, like, don't tell her all about that stuff on the first date, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah, and just
It's
sent
like
you on Twitter,
YouTubing.
does the Skeletor, the two pictures of someone put up Jared Leto's the Jim
Oh.
Skeletor. I just sent you the pictures.
So I said that Jared Leto was channeling Richard E. Grant from With Nail and I and Killface from Frisky Dingo. Like those two characters were just such a spot on. That had to have been his inspiration, Jared Leto. And yeah, I mean, I think they definitely I couldn't tell it was Jared Leto. Yeah, most people can't because it's not his face and it's not his voice. So That
It
makes
could it
sense.
literally could have been anybody. That's the thing. That's my problem with what it was they. It could have been anybody and doing a mocap,
Yeah.
and that kind of annoyed me. It's like I don't. Annoyed me in the sense that they made such a people made such a big deal out of it being Jared Leto, and I was like, if they never told me, I would not have known.
I understand Jared Leto has made some pretty bad movies. He's killed a lot of big franchises recently, and he's not. I mean, I thought Tron Ares was all right compared to the other shit he's been in, but people forget that his early stuff was all pretty damn good. Panic Room and Fight Club and some other cool shit. So it's not like he's in only stinkers. But I did have faith in Jared Leto on this one. I was like, I think he's gonna do all right. And he did. I hope he comes back for the sequel. That's never happening.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
Skeletor invades Earth.
The one thing, yeah, that's probably where they were gonna go. But the one thing that really started to grate on me was the overabundance of dick and fisting and jokes
One
about
good
that
fisting
shit.
joke is better than 3 okay ones.
Yeah.
10 okay ones.
Well, it was the first time it was funny. It was, you're fisto, you fist people. Like that was funny the first time, And then they did it like 5 more times, and I was just like, ugh. But by the last time, I think I had officially just turned my brain off completely because I laughed at the last one again, so it was like came back around to being funny a little bit. Oh, or no, it wasn't even that one. It was the Give Him Head Ram Man. That was the one I laughed at.
What were your thoughts that young 10-year-old Adam is the one who gave them all their names, and they're like, that's not
I
our
actually
name.
thought that was probably the only way that you can make sense out of some of the names of these characters.
But then they validate it because at the end they all accept and choose to like the names that he gave them. So that was all right.
Well, that's the thing. It's all of them are such on the nose names: Trapjaw, Beast Man, Moss Man. Like they're just very,
Trapjaw and Skeletor, I appreciated that they were just fucking blue and purple and, saturated colors. They weren't some kind of muted charcoal or gray or, some kind of grayish blue.
Yeah,
so, they were literally, they were blue.
They didn't do the edgy thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was appreciative of the fact that they didn't try to turn Skeletor into a sympathetic villain, and he was just
right. They joked about that. That was my favorite line in the movie, actually, where he's just like, "That's a stupid line."
Yeah, it's
no. They're like, "Oh, can't we? Surely Skeletor isn't that bad. Maybe we could talk to him or something." And she's like, "He has a skull for a face." I thought that was.
So
you put
I
it
don't
that
know
way.
who here is like particularly knowledgeable about He-Man outside of just the cartoon and toys. Anybody? Or is it just me?
No.
So, I mean, I'm not super crazy knowledgeable about it. Like, even, for instance, I completely forgot that Teela isn't the biological daughter of Man-at-Arms. But one thing I do remember from the comics when I briefly read them for a little while is that they made Skeletor into basically a shunned prince. He was He-Man's uncle. And they tried to make him into a sympathetic, and they didn't go that route. And I was appreciative of the fact that he was just a villain.
So the comics made Skeletor Scar from The Lion King.
Basically, yes, that's a great way to put it, actually. And I'm appreciative that they didn't do that shit. Because it would have been so the same as everything that we've come to see. And I don't know if anybody else agrees. Like, who else agrees with that? But I'm trying to remember his name. I think it was like Keldor, something like that. It was, it was King Randor's brother.
Yeah, I can look it up.
Kellogg's Cornflakes. I don't remember what the fuck his name was at this point.
I mean, the movie's already 2 hours, so maybe they cut a half an hour out that actually had that shit in
At
it.
least you shaved 40 minutes off of this movie, no problem, man. That would have been
absolutely.
fine. This is one of the few times where I took a piss in the middle of the movie. I never do that, but this is one of the times where I was like, you know what? I think I'll be fine. And I got up. I can't. They had just escaped the prison cell, right? And I go take a leak. I come back. They're barely making it to the. I think I missed one interaction with Fisto where they give him the sword. But then next thing I know, they're running outside and they.
Oh yeah, that's where he's like, it normally looks bigger, but my hand is so big, and then she's like, it's your other hand is the big hand. That's what I mean by there was like just a few too many on the nose dick jokes for me. You know
Yeah, what did Skeletor say? I remember like mouth
Skeletor literally
wide
was like
open.
your muscular thighs with your big
Oh yeah,
sword
he wanted to
hanging
fuck
out."
He-Man.
between your legs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I loved it. It's like I was getting Sabretooth vibes as he's like in love with Wolverine, you know, that kind
You
of
should have
thing. I'm
just
just
said,
like,
"I
I
want to
love
suck
it.
your dick," and then just
Yeah.
Be like,
Don't you understand?
He-Man,
Together
I
we
hear
can
that
be-
your sword holds approximately 40 ounces of liquid. Can we test it, please?
Oh, I'm trying. I don't remember what he said, but there's the scene where he's describing him. Has anyone seen this guy? He starts describing him like, I can't remember what he said. Something about like milky
His
abs or
muscles,
something. I
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
It's just like what?
But
Yeah,
see, that
so-
was
And
my
smooth.
that was
I'm
my
gonna try to find
problem. Was the movie couldn't pick a lane? Like by the time it got to that ending part where he's in He-Man's head, which is essentially he's doing the whole Zod thing from Man of Steel.
Yeah.
But at that point, they're full on parody. It's a gay, homoerotic, they want to screw each other kind of thing. And then before that, it's a lighthearted MCU Thor ripoff. Look how silly we are, meta humor. Then before that, it's like a semi-serious fantasy movie about a prince from a foreign land who can't figure out his way in life. Like, make something happen. Like, stop swerving all over the place.
The
Pick a
writer's
lane
barely
and stick in it.
disguised fetish.
So I did look up. Yeah, that recent incarnation was Keldor. He actually
Keldor.
he splashed acid in his face, but then his shield Randor deflected the acid back into his face, melting his face to the skeleton face. In the original cartoon, Skeletor was actually a evil demon-like creature from another dimension who found his way to
Yeah. That's cooler that he's just born like that with a skull face.
Yeah.
How does his skull face emote? Like I loved how he would like make like his eyebrows would move like he, it's like it's weird. I don't bother to try to understand the mechanics of how Skeletor's face works. It's just funny.
Getting a skull
Yeah, I
face
mean,
emote's actually easier.
Well, like
You'd be
you
surprised
spill
how
acid
easily
on your
you can emote.
face. If you spill acid on your face, that doesn't explain your red glowing eyes. It's just way cooler if you're just like a demon or something, like a devil man. You're a skeleton man. Your name is Skeletor. It's like just like Wolverine with his bone claws or not. Spider-Man with his organic webbing or not. Skeletor always skull face or some horrible accident. I lean more towards always skull face. I like that better. I think.
Yeah. What's it?
I mean, it's a fantasy world. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, with the whole HR, it's like, to Matt was saying with the whole HR stuff, it's like he tries pulling the whole HR. Maybe we can talk about your feelings and feelings. I'm a fucking skeleton. I'm just evil and it feels good. And that's it. That's okay. Then now it's time to kick his ass.
I love how he when he comes into the cubicle, he fucking assaults someone immediately in the hallway, and there's screaming, ah! We've all worked with bosses like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of those movies though where I feel like it's just your mind is pretty much made up, and I don't think anybody's really going to change it. There's not. I think you either enjoyed the campy BS about it, and or you wanted something a little bit more seriously, taken a little bit more seriously, and I don't think either of those are necessarily the wrong approach. Here's the thing is, and I actually think that that's a good thing that some people love this movie and other people hate it. I don't think that there should ever be universal love or hate for things. There needs to be tastes, and that's what we need to get back to.
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it, and that takes a lot for someone who doesn't really give a shit about He-Man. I gotta say I was underwhelmed because it wasn't as funny as I heard it was. It wasn't as cool as I heard it was, and it wasn't as nearly as bad as I heard it was. So I was just kind of like, meh. But I watched it for what it was, and I was like, the question is 40-year-old men who know He-Man, they're probably all have seen it already. And then anybody else who's seeing it outside of that demographic is out of a curiosity. And are those people going to enjoy this? I think so.
So we were talking about it briefly backstage before the show started. It's not a franchise that really has had a shit ton of legs over years. It really has been just that core demographic. Like Transformers, is around the same time. There's a lot of them. Like Thundercats was around the same time, and a lot of them. Transformers kind of broke out of it because it evolved. It went to Beast Wars.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was popular for a long time, but most of them were only popular for a year or two. Most of them were only popular for a little while.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja
Last-
Turtles was another one of those ones, but it also, I think that one connects a little, like, very well with kids because it's teenagers and it's like, oh, we're just, super, we're just rebellious, and it just, I think no matter what the generation gets connected
Well,
to that one,
ninjas will never not be cool. Turtles themselves will never
and
not be
pizza is
cool.
fucking awesome.
Right, right.
So.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
He-Man was a
I don't even
property
think
that
He-Man was the most popular of that. It wasn't even close to the most. I would say that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is probably the most popular, I would say, of that time. And
Totally.
then, yeah, I would say that. And then you had a bunch of other knockoffs of that didn't really go anywhere throughout the late 80s and early 90s. He-Man was in the middle of that pack of that. It was very popular with a very core demographic. And I didn't see. So okay, and I went to a pre-show, an early release, like a lot of people did, and I didn't see a lot of kids with their parents there. I saw a lot of married couples, or what, maybe not married but just together for a long term, and that was the core demographic that was there, and that's not going to push the movie. It's just not going to. Really, what this needed to be was it needed to be a family-oriented thing. And yes, Beast Wars was fucking awesome.
All Beast Wars. Yeah, funny part, like you said, look at IMDb. The original show only lasted 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And then She-Ra comes out in 1985. Then there's no He-Man until the movie, which again didn't do that well.
Most
1987.
of those cartoons only lasted a couple of seasons. Though.
What's
They were
new?
really just glorified commercials.
Well, like you say, in terms of relevance, then okay, the New Adventures of He-Man, 1990, 1 season. So then between 1991 and 2002, there's nothing. And actually, technically speaking, the Master of the Universe 2002, that lasted 3 seasons, or two and a half. Like, that's the biggest one. Then that's not until the Netflix show, which is another 10 years. So, like, yeah, every 10 years you get 1 season of this show. It's not like, yeah, it's a big pop culture, juggernaut.
Well, here, Professor R2 pointed out, and you got to remember that seasons back then were a lot longer. Go look at the first season of Batman, the animated series. It was like 120
30
episodes or something like that.
Okay,
God.
Archie makes a point. So the initial show is 2 seasons, 130 episodes.
Yeah. Let me see. What was the
Because-
Batman
because
animated
cartoons
series?
were made to just run in syndication. Those cartoons, in particular. So
True, yeah.
make a lot of episodes, sell them to networks, so they'll run them. Have a lot of episodes to run, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, He-Man is a property that just kind of burned brightly and
Yeah,
burned
the
quickly.
first
and that
season
was
of
it.
Batman the animated series was 65 episodes.
Wow.
So like, even if you played one a week every Saturday, you would still have another additional 8 to 10 weeks after that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, if you look at Ninja Turtles
Um,
and Transformers, how many live action films have we seen since the
13
80s?
weeks.
He-Man's only, this is actually technically the second live action He-Man in almost 40 fucking years. And we've had Turtles and Transformers endlessly for the past 40 years.
It also, by the way, someone mentioned, Power Rangers kind of killed a lot of these cartoons, by the way. That was the thing that took over in the early 90s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet in my local comic Garden State Comic Fest has the Amy Jo Johnson,
Oh, shit.
the original Pink Ranger. I can't wait to see how long her line is of just dudes who are like, I totally didn't spank it to you when I was a kid, not at all.
Right. What a life to live, knowing that all these
yeah.
dudes.
I plan to ask her that question, so I get
Sure,
since I'm a VIP, I get an automatic, like, I can go right
Oh,
in
don't
front
do
of
that.
any
Come
line.
on, don't.
I'm gonna be like, how does this make you feel that you were every? I'm gonna be tasteful about it. I'm gonna be like, hey, how do you feel being every guy's first boner, like, or something like that? I'm gonna be like, how do you feel being like every guy's like first crush? Like,
Don't
I'm
do
gonna be
that to
tasteful
poor
about
sweet.
it.
What's her name? She didn't.
Amy Jo
deserve that.
Johnson.
I'm sure she's probably had that question 1,000 times over. So
Nah, I mean, she'll probably have a stock answer. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, like, what's the weirdest thing a guy ever said they did to you? Like,
So many
but-
socks were ruined.
But I need to know. That's like a question I have to ask. Like, how does it feel knowing like every guy that you ever met is like that you were their first crush? Like, what does that feel like?
Okay, that's a little bit more tactful.
That's what I said. I'll be tasteful about it. I'm not going to be like, hey, you kept KY Jelly in business for a long time,
Well, if you run a black light over my bedroom, it was like a Jackson Pollock painting.
how about that season 2 with Ted with the sock?
Don't touch that sock.
And yeah, you usually doesn't get this bad since mom does laundry. Then Ted grabs the bed sheet and the whole bed sheet shatters on the ground.
How does it feel knowing guys jack off to you? Hey, I've been to literal porn conventions, so like that's
Well, really now.
yeah, I've been to Exotica, bro.
What the
I've
hell?
shown the pictures on streams of me with Angela White multiple times. I'm not
Uh-huh.
gonna find them again. But yeah. Does anybody have anything else they want to add about this? I mean, I feel like we could go on, but I do want to talk about some other topics if we
Yeah.
can.
I do want to for you in the panel because it did pop up. Apparently, like you said, with Amazon. I guess Amazon's head chief or whatever marketing saying, "Hey, this is what we expected." Do you think? Because again, with Amazon being a $1 trillion
Oh,
company,
there's no fucking way this is what
No.
they did. Nobody
Yeah.
makes a $170 million movie going, yeah, we expected to lose that money. Like we were really hoping for that.
I mean, that's how I approach my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like I make videos, and I'm like, I expect nobody to see this, but for the love of the game, and that seems to be always the case. But no, I don't expect a
Yeah.
company that spends hundreds of
I mean,
millions of
'cause
dollars.
according to him, like-
It's no big deal.
According to him, like you're saying, Dark Hours is because he's just trying to say that what they're going for again, probably PR thing, because like they wanted engagement and merchandise and things like that. Like I don't know how true that is, but I mean, Lucas made more money off merchandise than the fucking movies.
Are we team Orko or team Gwildor? I like Gwildor more.
I think
'Cause he's Billy
Gwildor is a
Barty.
better name, but I think Orko has a better look.
Yeah.
Dude, fun. Okay, so Sunday night. This also talks to the testament of how quickly He-Man ran in and out of fashion. But we were watching a 30-minute educational special called "When Mom and Dad Break Up," and it was a little heartfelt presentation by Alan Thicke, who was talking about, hey, your parents are splitting up, and here's what's going to happen. And his co-host was Orko from Masters of the Universe. And for some reason, all they did was just literally take clips from the show featuring Orko and just add new voice over it. They didn't even bother to reanimate the guy. I thought that was
That was pretty
very,
common back then when they did those PSAs. It was just clips from the shows with different voiceover.
It
That
was
pretty
bad.
common.
But the point is, it was made in 1987, and already, like, by that time, 1987, like, Orko's in this. He's old news. He's washed up doing educational programs now. It was funny. Because, like, I was born in 85, and He-Man was slightly before my time. So it was only the kids, like, a grade or two older than me that were into He-Man, typically.
Yeah.
But yeah, to answer your question back, like to my knowledge, they invented the name Gwildor specifically for the movie. I don't know why. Maybe because there's an actual company in America called Orko, so they might not have wanted to
But
use
was
it.
Gwildor supposed to be Orko? I mean, he was like Orko.
It was supposed to be like a stand-in character.
He was.
My guess, that's always been my guess, is that because there is a company called Orko, they just didn't want to use
Orko
it.
wears like a shy guy outfit kind of thing, and he's got an annoying like helium voice. And then Gwildor, he's a little troll or something. I kind of like Gwildor better. He seems rough. He's like very much Yoda coded.
Coda.
Is it weird that I know who the shy guy is, but not anything else that you just said?
I barely know. Gwildor was little Billy Barty in the Dolph Lundgren movie. It tasted good when he's talking about the rib bones. Those
No one
ribs you're
remembers the
eating.
TMNT featuring the anti. I remember the hilarious. It was like say.
Oh, I remember that.
What was it? Say drugs to pizza. Say no to yes. Do you remember that? Hold on, I'll find it.
Yeah,
Go on. Keep talking.
I remember that. I had a shirt with the Ninja Turtles, and it says, "Girls like guys who eat out." They're eating their pizza. Stupid.
Hold on. I think hopefully this will show. I hate when it won't take the type of picture you do. When it's like
That's a JPEG, JPG, not JPEG. Do it right.
yeah, it's like that dumb shit that they do. Oh, here it is. Okay, it did work. It looks like it just made my media. It's
Online.
I'm offline apparently. Hello, hi everybody. Okay, I don't know what's going on today, but I'll just take my word for it. It's literally just, it says say pizza to drugs, say no to yes. If you type that in, you'll find it. It's fucking hilarious.
The band Yes felt very upset about that, right? Yes is all right.
Yeah, basically. So the other smaller topics that I had, who here saw Backrooms?
I did.
Yay.
Me.
Everybody saw
I
Backrooms?
I did as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten around to it. I've actually, and as a matter of fact, I actually got a dip here because the microphone I set up for these, it fucking broke. And so I'm having to use my YouTube recording video thing right now. So I'm on battery power, and I also have to get started on my other projects. I didn't see Backrooms because I've actually dived into a treasure trove of new shit. I can only tease a little bit of it, but I can tell you that no matter what movie you guys are talking about today, you have not seen the worst movie of the year. I have, and I'm working on a video on it right now.
Okay,
All right.
looking forward to that. That'll be
I,
your
I
that's your
bet
plug
you
your
I
plug your
might
shit.
have seen it.
If you think say nothing because I want to surprise everyone. All right.
All right.
So
But yeah,
I got a
I guess
dip
that'll serve as your plug your shit for today, I guess.
for now, but in
All
the
right.
meantime, tits out, everyone.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you, Rody. Okay, now let's.
Trying to think
I don't
of
know
what
what
the
the hell
worst
is
movie
going
I
on with
watched.
fucking. Okay, so everybody else saw Backrooms though.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Who wants to go first? Because I have things to say about Backrooms, but
I'll go
Well,
first.
talking about He-Man,
oh, well, we're not done with He-Man
Meg's
yet. I thought we were
no,
done with
I
He-Man.
know, because this is leading into Backrooms because I was saying I have this tiny theater, right? $6 tickets, no reserve seatings, 4 screens. It's a tiny town. And there's usually nobody there. If there's like 5 or 6 people there, I'm like, oh, this movie's gonna do real good, you know.
There's
I
5 people seeing it.
saw He-Man. Not a lot of people there. Typically, Backrooms sold out with teenagers, full. Meg's little nephew, he's 10 years old. He has no interest to watch He-Man. He wanted to watch Backrooms. The kids want to watch Backrooms. It's crazy. I saw it. I thought it was really trippy and weird. I liked Obsession more, but I enjoyed it. I think people hated this. Some people didn't like Backrooms, but I don't know anything about Backrooms, and I went home and watched the Kane Pixels shorts, 20 of them, and I felt it doesn't explain too much and it doesn't explain too little. It's open to interpretation. It's real trippy, and there's plenty of room to build off of it and breathe. And it is, when you think about it, just a standard, monster chasing you kind of story. But it's just such a cool setting, man. It's like I could just talk about the concept of the Backrooms much more than the movie itself. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that'll be your intro for it. And we'll go, since you're down in my left hand corner here. We'll go to Matt next because you're next to him.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way as Stupenzo. I liked it overall. I think it's weird. We say all like everything that I'm saying right now. We say in our review, so it might be redundant if you guys have watched it or whatever. People watching this have watched it, but yeah, I just feel like my biggest issue with the movie is the actual movie portion of it. You know, like
Yeah.
them introducing like these characters, and of course they have trauma, all that bullshit. They can't just be normal people that are like, witnessing this crazy thing, this crazy phenomenon, and then over the course of the film they become traumatized. To me, that's more the way to go. But we get some normal stock characters. Now, that's not to say the actors weren't good, because they were actually very good. Like the acting is great in this, but I feel like the movie is firing in all cylinders. Like when he gets his assistant manager and her boyfriend, they go in, they do the whole
Yeah.
found footage thing. That was like the strongest
Yes.
section of the film, and I just kept thinking, this is what the whole movie should have been. Like, I'm not really
Well-
like into experimental found footage stuff, but this actually works for that, though.
See, I apologize for my mic also. Why didn't anyone tell me I was coming out of the shitty mic? Anyway, I
I
liked
didn't
how
notice.
it's okay. I like how it was part like found footage. Like the first half, there's the first act, first section, which is like exposition. Second act is the found footage portion, and then the after the found footage portion. portion. I felt that was I thought all found footage. I feel like that might have been too. But
Well,
you could do a
it
sequel that's all found footage too. You know, it would
like
work that way.
when I was talking it over with Bobby afterwards, I just kept saying like this would have been like the perfect movie. 'Cause most okay, whenever they make an anthology film, those always like tank. Those
Oh
always
yeah.
suck. But to me, this is like the perfect vehicle to do some sort of like anthology style, and then you can like tie them all together with like the rap story that's going on. But I don't know. Like I still I did like when he first goes in and that's done cinematically. That was great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not the problem that it's like, oh, this is shot like a movie. It's more like, okay, we've got modern day stock movie characters, and that to me is just what made it feel sort of like a generic A24 movie at that point. But again, I liked it overall. I liked it more than I disliked it. I just thought that if they downplayed the character aspects a little bit more, and spent a little bit more time in the back rooms, because he goes back in there and then like we don't know how long he's gone for. We don't see what he's doing in
Yeah.
there, and like that was just kind of like, okay, well, what the
He
fuck?
said I haven't drank since Friday, implying it's at least Monday, if not
Yeah,
later.
but like I would have liked to have seen more of the shit that's in there, rather
Right.
than spend
Right.
time on these like characters that we don't care about.
But that's a good thing, I guess, because it wanted us wanting more, but not in an unsatisfactory way. I felt like yes, I was satisfied with it. Of course, I want more, but like I feel like they could overplay their hand and give us too much, and like too much explaining would suck.
Oh,
Like
I
at the
agree with
end when the
that.
scientist guy comes and he's about to explain this is what the back rooms are, I'd be like, oh god,
Well, I liked it because yeah, exactly.
they
Even
don't
he
know,
doesn't,
they
they
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, exactly right. And I like that. So it's not like this whole, why didn't they explain what was going on? I don't like that. Like, no, I actually do prefer that. I like the idea of as you're watching each episode or each movie, whatever it may be, that you're kind of uncovering a little bit more and more, but they're retaining that ambiguity. I like that.
The backstory from the 22 shorts is very minimal as well. All I gathered was it's a company. They discovered this doorway that's like a controlled experiment portal, and it leads to this place called the Backrooms. And I guess originally when they found it, they thought they were going to use this place for like unlimited storage and energy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
They're like
like
pitching it to like
the
corporations to use it.
government,
Yeah,
military, yeah.
for
All the
storage.
free
Yeah.
storage you want. And yeah, imagine if you had a friend who lived in the poor side of town. Imagine if you had a friend who lived in the back rooms to like save money and shit. It's like, oh no, I got to go to the back rooms to visit my cousin because he lives out in the sticks. Oof, weird. But of course, they find out there's monsters there, and that doesn't work
Yeah,
out.
but like overall though, like I am glad that this Kane Parsons kid, like he did make a good movie. It's a good first outing. I'm glad that it's as successful as it is. Same thing with Obsession, which like you, I like that a little bit more. I still think it's a little overrated, but I liked it more than Backrooms. But I'm glad that both of them are doing well, and it's just we're at a
Dude.
turning point right now where it's like more people are like you said, the kids are were more interested in seeing the back rooms and not He-Man. It's like now, like kids are more into the YouTube shit now. You know what I mean?
Dude, I'm gonna sound annoying at this point because I keep bringing it up, but there's a third movie that goes in that list of these like no budget movies that are amazing that just come out of nowhere. I think the guy who made it is a YouTuber. I'm not sure, but he lost all of his money on meme coins, and then he made this movie for like no money, starring his family and friends, and it's called Positions. It totally deserves way more recognition. I've been recommending it to people for like a month. Nobody's watched it except Luke, and
Well,
he loved
you
it.
never
Everybody,
sent me the website you said it was on.
I think it's on Apple or something. You buy it on iTunes, but it's out there. But yeah, that movie's amazing. I recommend it wholeheartedly. It was really good, very underrated, and yeah, it deserves more love. It's criminally underrated. Positions. I'm gonna recommend it to everybody until people start saying you're right. Holy shit! I just saw it. It was great.
But back to back rooms real quick, because there's a couple other people who haven't got a chance to say. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, so runtime is an hour and 50. And I'm not sure if you guys watched a film called Good Boy with the dog. That was an hour and 13 minutes, and this felt like off the bat, this film's way too fucking long. I did like it. Did like the cinematography. Did like Should We Tell Edgy for? I like the concept of the back rooms. It felt like a very long Dark Mirror episode, or sorry, Black Mirror episode. I feel like some movies are like a 45-minute episode, and they just pad the fucking runtime. Yeah, the set designs are cool. I like the concept of it, but basically all Matt's criticisms, I agree with Matt. The world building is interesting. Didn't hate it. I think it's a very average film, and good job on the director. I think damn sure overall it's one of the films where you can tell it's one of those like YouTube short episode, like shoot shorts films that got padded like Iron Lung. I didn't mind Iron Lung, but I was like, God damn, this film is fucking dragging. It's way too long for the source material for a guy sitting in a set for 2 hours. So I like the concept better backrooms, but it was an okay film, a good first outing. I would want to see how they want to build up on more of this lore. So an okay film. I would have shaved off easily a half hour of this film though.
Bommy.
So I think me and Matt are almost in lockstep here. Although I will say where we differ is I really like character driven horror, so I appreciate that angle more than he does, I think. But overall, I think we agree 100%. I do wish we had spent more time with the found footage. I do wish we'd spent more time with Clark and seeing like his descent into madness instead of just his therapist character wandering in the back rooms and suddenly he's crazy. Like, well, why? I would have liked to have seen that. I do think it does lean too much into its A24ness. I think it wants to embrace more elevated horror a little too much. And I'll also say that I appreciated the fact that the dark rooms as a concept has thematic
Back rooms.
relevance. Or excuse me, what I say? the
You said the dark
back
rooms.
room. Sorry, back rooms has a thematic relevance, not just a place where spooky stuff happens. So I appreciated that, and overall, I liked it quite a bit. Having no knowledge of what Backrooms was before, I'd never seen any of the YouTube stuff. So overall, I liked it quite a bit, and I think that's it. Yeah.
So I loved the first half of the movie. I thought that it nailed the cinematography. I thought it nailed the feel. Even the starting not as found footage, switching to it, I was fine with that. Then I felt like it was missing a huge chunk of Act 2. Several things just felt like they happened for the sake of happening. He ones that you already kind of said, that he has this heel turn that we don't get to see the real reason why. And some people be like, well, he was already unhinged. He was going to therapy. I'm like, he was going to therapy because he was upset that he got a divorce. Like, it wasn't it wasn't like murderous psychopath levels of, she never got that feeling. I also didn't like the fact that the second half of the movie has a completely different protagonist.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they stuff her storyline in the middle for no reason. She seems almost irrelevant for the beginning of the movie. Like, she's just his venting point at the beginning. And they have like a book signing with her that doesn't do anything. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I had a traumatic childhood too. And here's me not being allowed to look outside and all that stuff. And it just felt like they ham-fisted that storyline in so that way we could be like, well, now we're connected to this person and we don't want to see anything happen to her. Because that's really what you need.
Yeah.
For true horror to work, you need to be invested in the character that is being stalked or whatever it may be. And we had no investment in her. So they had to throw investment in.
It wasn't even that. It's like you kind of disliked her at the beginning.
Yeah, she sucked.
And you liked the guy, and then they totally like swap roles in the second half.
Yeah.
What I did like though is they do renounce like therapy at the end. They therapy isn't the answer. You're not gonna solve yourself by
Kind of, yeah.
You're just a dick. That's it.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
she was saying what every therapist should
Therapy's a
say.
scam.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
dude. Well, like when he's in the session and they do that fucking role play thing, which is, of course, they're setting it
know.
up for later on.
Great
But,
acting though. Great
yeah,
acting
but like,
in that scene.
that whole scene though, it is great acting. But that whole scene though, you're like, this is such fucking bullshit. Like,
Oh
this
yeah, like, it's a great scene, but it's like I would not do this as therapy. You pay for this treatment?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
what?
basically
exactly.
that's like textbook, disassociated therapy. That's like a therapist that's the kind of person who would be a therapist for court order
Like,
shit.
go
Like,
talk to a priest. A priest wants
Yeah.
to talk to you once, maybe twice for free. The
Yeah.
idea is they're
Well,
going to
what
give you, stuff to do, and you'll fix yourself. Therapy is like keep coming back and giving me $500.
Well, what I was saying, but what I'm saying is what she was doing was more like what would be like court ordered. She almost didn't feel like she's very disconnected, almost like she's just waiting to get through the session. She has very little emotional investment. Like there are good therapists who actually care about people and want to see them move on and like just be there for them. Like, okay, in an emergency, I don't want you to be here weekly anymore. There's an endless number of people that they can have in their book, and she was definitely in the latter one, and that's why she goes with the therapy doesn't work concept. If you're doing it incorrectly, if you're not trying to teach someone how to fix themselves from within, if you're trying to just be like it's always been your fault all along, yeah, that's never gonna work.
I was also I was kind of let down by the design of the monster because we've seen like the squiggly man.
Go that next. I was 100%
The squiggly man is cool because it's so weird, and when you find out what the monster is in this one, you're like, that's also weird, but it gets kind of goofy, and it is freaky looking for sure, but it's not as freaky as like a squiggly man.
Goofy. It's freaky goofy. It's not. It's uncanny valley in that like that's silly, and I know what the reference is because it's like earlier on in the movie when he's doing the commercials.
They're
and
called still lifes, the
Yeah.
backroom creatures, still lifes. Oh, I love that.
There was just, I thought that every creature besides him was way more interesting. The guy who was like halfway through a chair.
Oh,
turning
yeah,
on
all those
lights.
people were great.
Those were all creepy. And then you get to him, and you're like, that's it? Like, it's just a tall version of him that's retarded looking? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Well, I liked that a little bit more than you guys because I got the thematic kind of.
It was unique for sure.
Of he's being consumed by the worst part of himself. That is the back rooms. That he's he just wants to wallow in his misery, and that is eventually what kills him. So I got all that.
I thought.
Go ahead.
Sorry, somebody's cutting out.
Sorry.
There you go.
Yeah, Matt's in the middle of a thunderstorm, so
I am, yeah. So forgive me. I might come in and out here. Like I lost my power a second ago. Yeah. So I thought the design, it starts out okay. Like when he comes out of the darkness and you see him for the first time, and like his proportions are all off. You're kind of like, oh shit, that's a little unsettling. But then, yeah, once the chase starts, you're just kind of like, okay.
It's like the more you see it, the weirder it is,
Yeah, yeah.
It was definitely way more enthralling and terrifying when we couldn't see what it was the whole time.
Yeah.
When you see the drawing of it,
yeah,
I was like, that's freaky, whatever the hell that drawing is. And then you see it real, you're like, oh, that's what they're drawing? Oh,
and they even give it away, it's, when she hears it, it's just me, don't worry. It's... So another issue I had, by the way, is that I feel like this movie was trying to do two things at the same time. It was trying to introduce people to the back rooms, but also be specifically for people who are really into it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that was that's where it loses in the middle there. It requires, I wouldn't say it requires homework, but it at least requires an understanding of what you were going into. And that wasn't the marketing. The marketing, the trailer, everything about the marketing was, hey, come see what the fuck is going on. And that wasn't what you end up really getting.
I think part of why I liked it more is because first of all, I saw it in a sold out theater that loved it, so that kind of helps you like it more. But then I went home and then watched, like I said, the 20 shorts, and like I said, they don't over explain stuff, but you do learn some interesting stuff, and you know what the movie kind of built on that lore. Basically, what I gathered story plot wise, that is like the bare bones of it is, like I said, they developed this doorway. It's like they turn on a switch and this big like metal door on a wall like lights up, and then they walk to the back rooms. Well, apparently in this movie, for some reason, there are just random portals opening all over everywhere, and they don't know why. So that's like the new development, I guess, that this movie kind of touches on.
That's how the first short starts. Like the one guy just accidentally clips into the back
Oh right,
rooms.
yeah, there's a few found footages of them, falling through.
Yeah, like it's
the
only
floor and stuff. Right, you're right.
It's only when you get to the scientist stuff, then it's like they've found entrances and like all of that. But I think that for the most part, like the whole idea, because like the Kane Parsons, like like the concept behind it is like clipping in video games, like when you're, you're somewhere in the level in the map, and then like you go through a wall on accident, and then like everything's
Yeah.
all fucked up and shit.
Yeah.
It's like that sort of concept, but in real life.
If this was an anthology, this could have been. I mean, it's not. You still can be one. I mean,
Yeah, well, that I just think that would have been like that sort of format. This could have been like the first successful anthology film. Like this is the platform to do it.
Yeah, if they had done like a what's the horror movie franchise that does this? Is it
VHS?
I
Wreck?
mean,
Or yeah, that where it's anthology shorts essentially that might
yeah,
have worked
VHS is it. Yeah.
a little better.
Yeah, just something like that.
But yeah,
But
that was go ahead.
no, I'm just saying to push back a little bit on what you were saying. I didn't know anything about Backrooms before. I didn't look it up other than the fact that I knew it was something on YouTube. That's all I
Same.
knew. So I didn't look into it after or before, and I barely looked into it after. So I'll say it was pretty successful in introducing audiences that don't know anything about it to what Backrooms is, which is why I think coming in with no knowledge helped me enjoy it probably more than some people do. Um,
See, I'm the opposite. I feel like if I would have actually been a little bit more familiar with it, I would have enjoyed it more. And that was the problem. Is it wasn't when I say that it was marketed as an entry point for this stuff, and I feel like I needed a little bit more to
Yeah,
going
I
into it.
think that like if you go in without knowing anything, like you'll be fine. But it is better if you go in like being somewhat familiar with it. I think that the experience is
Being
better.
initiated to the club, so to say.
Yes, yeah.
And like the thing is, there was a lot of things that it did right. The found, like you said, the found footage sections was fantastic. Especially both of them too, because there was the early found footage sequence where it's
Yeah,
the
the
scientist who's
opening.
running the opening. That was probably the best of the found footage sequence because they really it tells you a lot and with very very minimal. This is not a place you want to be. Obviously, this guy wants to get the fuck out. He can't figure out how to get the hell out. And then, but like when he brings in the two employees, that I thought that sequence was great. And then
Yeah, I thought that was phenomenal. I thought it was
it
really
just
good.
it ends at like and then you just see her head in the fridge later, and you're like,
Yeah, what the?
okay, but like, why?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Why
like
is the head there?
over the span of 5 or 6 days, however the hell he's been in there, he's like keeping people's heads in fridges now. Okay,
Yeah.
like stupid.
Also eating them
He
too.
lost it somehow, somewhere in there. We didn't see it for some reason, but I like the detail when the what's the stoner dude's name? He gets killed. He finds like his own shirt in the pile of laundry, like backwards.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, that's neat. It's weird.
I didn't even notice. I didn't even catch on to that it was his own shirt.
I didn't
mean,
either. Someone pointed that out, and I was like, that's a fun detail.
Yeah, that's definitely a second viewing kind of thing, or someone who was really paying the fuck attention.
well, he
Yeah,
had that.
that's the big question.
He had
Sorry,
that
go
shirt
ahead.
I'm sorry. He had that shirt that said "End Apartheid," and to me, I'm like, okay, this move, okay, this takes place in 1990. I get it, but like, yes, that was used as a plot device later on because he finds the
Right.
shirt in there, like you said, it's backwards.
Neato.
I do. This does give me. I do hope, if nothing else happens from Backrooms, I do hope that it has caused Chris Stuckman a lot of anguish, knowing that
Right.
another YouTuber made a movie that also
Seriously.
blended found footage and typical narrative films that are a lot better than his that did the same thing.
I saw that he did a review for it, but I haven't watched. I can't watch his videos anymore. Like he just annoys the hell out of me. So, but I know he did one, so he must have liked it.
Yeah, I feel
But-
just like with Obsession. I mean, I'm happy overall. It's not my favorite film of the year, but like the marketing and the box office revenue to production value, I'm extremely happy for these guys
Yeah.
that making so much money.
Does anyone have anything else about Backrooms they want to say before we move on? I don't really have like a shit ton of topics today, so
There's other stuff.
yeah. I mean, we'll just go. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I did mention it in the title only because I had a few characters left. And I was like, but
Yeah.
did anyone else see that they once again a toy has given away something about a movie, and it's the fact that Sadie Sink is more than likely Jean Grey. Anyone see that?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I mean, that's was the rumor anyway, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Spider-Man.
you just hope it's not true, but shit.
I wasn't sure if you're gonna cover.
Is she better than what's her name? Sophie Turner, Game of Thrones.
So I think
Probably
Sadie
acting,
Sink
yes.
actually. Personally, I think Sadie Sink was the only person that was on Stranger Things that got better as an actor as the show went on.
No, she's in terms of performance, she's good. But again, it's like they cast Zendaya as Mary Jane. It's like okay, Mary Jane's supposed to be a fucking 10 out of 10, and so is Jean Grey. It's bullshit.
It's also weird because they're like younger than me now, and I just feel weird. Like even if they were 10s out of 10s, I'd be like, man, what is this fucking chick half my age being all sexy for? That would also be weird. It's like I'm at that age now where it's like,
that's
but
a
yeah, they
child.
should be hotter.
She probably
They should be hotter for sure.
She should, but she probably shouldn't even be that young either. Like they should have made her a little bit older, but whatever.
True.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be going for the Marvel girl era.
Yep. Yeah.
So, which
Yeah,
is
'cause they're
weird
thinking of
because it doesn't make
longevity.
sense.
How old is
They
Sadie
want a
Sink?
Jean
Like
Grey that could stick around for
22?
15 years,
Yeah. Sadie Sink, I think she's in her early 20s.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like
Yeah.
22, 23, something like that.
Yeah, let me
So
see. I'll
that's,
look it up right now.
I think that's appropriate.
She's kind of perpetually locked at looking at the same age as when she started, 24,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
she almost looks exactly the same as when she started on Stranger Things like 7 years ago.
Okay, so
So-
24, I think, is more than a reasonable age for the
Right.
character to be.
True. I guess she should just look older. I guess.
I'm just old now. is
We're
what I'm
just old
realizing.
guys. That's
I
our
mean,
see
that's
problem.
true.
the new
yeah.
hot Jean Grey, and I'm like, this is a child. What am I?
You know what
why
I
am
knew
looking
that
at
was.
this?
You know what I knew that I was getting older and like my taste had moved along was so when I was a kid. Obviously, Home Alone. You watch Home Alone, you're like, hey, his mom's a bitch. She's
Yeah. Now
such a
you're like,
bitch.
fuck
Now
you,
I'm like,
you
hey,
Oh,
his
his
mom's pretty
mom's-
hot. And then you look it
And
up
she's
you
right.
realize-
You listen to your mother, young man. Don't make.
But I'm like, you look at her mother and you're like, hey, she's pretty hot. And then you look it up and she's like the same age as I am at the time. I'm like, okay,
Right.
it makes sense. It's like that's
I
why
realized I was getting what almost sent me into like a midlife crisis was when I realized I had two times when I realized I was officially older than Harrison Ford in the first Star Wars.
I was literally just thinking that.
All right.
I was like, oh
Right,
my
right.
God. And then when I
Yeah.
realized I was the same age as James Gandolfini in the first season of Sopranos.
In fairness,
Yeah.
James Gandolfini
Damn.
looked like he was 60 at the beginning of that show.
Yeah.
He always looked way older than he was.
Yeah,
When
I
found
look
out
up.
that when I looked up how 60 is a little bit of a stretch, but he definitely looked like he was in his early 50s in the beginning of that show, and I was like, when I found out he wasn't,
Yeah.
I was like, shit.
Yep. We have to look up MILF porn to get women our age. That's how it works now because we're old.
I refuse. The last thing I need to see is a cesarean scar while I'm jerking.
Yeah, but it means that pussy's still tight, bro. I'm sorry, you're monetized.
didn't
I
hear.
don't know. I forget I'm not on my channel.
Yeah, I don't care, dude.
Okay. Well, then fuck yeah, bro. That pussy's still tight. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Chris,
I'm
you were
kidding.
gonna say no. I'm just. I mean, hey, I got no problem with C-sections. Come on, I was a C-section birth. I got to be okay with it. But Chris, you said that there was
Why our
you're like,
heads
"Oh,
are so well shaped.
I have a very flat top of my head. That's why I hope like my hair chills for a while because I would look weird bald, like really weird. But Chris, what was this? You were about to say something before. You were like, "Oh, this happened," and then we kind of like moved on.
I think. Did you hear about the Wolverine game reveal? I mean,
Oh, I was just gonna bring up some games. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Bring up whatever you want, guys. This is
Yeah.
the free
Well,
flow
because
section.
remember, comic book fans are trying to say like, well, because the X Men don't exist in this storyline. It's
It's
Wolf-
the X team.
It's the X team. It's like, well, like the comic.
I mean, did they drop it just so they could drop men from the title? If so, that's lame. Jean Grey
Well,
is
yeah, of
also,
course.
kind of a butterface in this. And dude, but I gotta say, I do kind of agree. Maybe when Wolverine's wearing the yellow costume and he's on the X-Men team, maybe he should keep the grisly murder down to a minimum. I think it is. I love violence. I love it. But even I was like, God damn, he's stabbing this woman in the face. Like,
Yeah,
like,
that was always a thing that they tended to keep separate. He was more vicious
Right.
when he was on his own in the comics.
on his
than he
own.
was- and it's because he didn't have the grounding that was the X-Men.
I was saying, like, a bunch of people are like, bunch of Karens are complaining about the violence. I was like, dude, if I was Jean Grey and I was like putting people in psychic holds and then Wolverine shows up and like lobotomizes them and disembowels them, I'd be like, yo, hey, I don't want no part of this. I'm not affiliated with this guy. I don't.
Well,
This is a
Wolverine
bit
is
much.
also, a lot of people forget this. He doesn't like the whole thing is it's like I'm the best at what I do and what I do isn't pretty. He doesn't like the fact he's a good killer.
Yeah.
He wishes
Can
he
we
wasn't.
give him like some nunchucks or something for a primary weapon, just before he starts to just murder? If I'm just thinking like if I was Professor X, a branding issue for the X-Men, hey, we've got this cool stun gun you could use, Logan, and if you have to use the claws, you can. It's just that Kitty Pryde is getting nightmares when she goes on missions with you. That's the issue. It's a bit
One of the
much,
main
Logan.
problems. So it's one of the things that the X-Men was always hard. Almost all of their powers are incredibly going to kill the fuck out of you. Just by existing,
But like you would
it's
see Colossus like wrapping the guy up in rebar and Cyclops like shooting the ceiling out and having it fall on the guy and knock him unconscious, and then Wolverine's got like a severed head and he's like stabbing the eyes out and brains are leaking out like toothpaste. I just feel like it would be easy for X, his laundry bill alone, cleaning up his clothes every mission. It's disgusting. He's covered in like viscera. I loved it, but I do agree like. As an X-Men, as Professor X, I would be telling Logan, "Hey, Logan, stick around for a minute. I need to talk to you. I need you to
This is
tone
some
it
bad
down,
PR
buddy.
you're giving us right now.
We run a school. Your teammates are a bunch of teenagers. You know that, right? And they get nightmares.
and school teachers. Don't forget that there's also school teachers. We can't be. He's technically a school teacher at a certain point. It's like,
I'm just picturing like they get in the X-Jet and Wolverine's all covered in blood and guts. He's like, "Great mission, y'all!" And Kitty Pryde's got like tears coming out of her eyes. Yeah,
to this
good
day, one of
job.
my favorite scenes in the cartoon history is right in the first episode when he just walks up and punches Cyclops in the stomach, and it sounds like he just collapsed a cardboard box. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
What other games did you want to bring up?
Oh
Matt?
man, well, so that's just like there are 3 games coming out that I'm like, holy shit, those look amazing. I'm like more excited about these than movies. I'm not even really a gamer, but first of all, the Alien Isolation 2 trailer,
Yeah.
Yes.
man, that looks so good, and like I love where they're going with the story because I don't know how familiar you guys are with the first game, but there's that part.
Love it.
There's that part in the first game where you're led into that science lab, Project KG 348, and that lab gets separated. It's like a module, it gets separated from the rest of the ship, and then in the game
Right.
you have to like get off of it, whatever. But the alien that's been stalking you for like the first half of the game is left on board, and it looks like this game, the new game, like they recover that. So I'm like, that's fucking cool. That's like a good way of like bringing the alien back, without.
I also like that they're just speaking Japanese. Just a bunch of Japanese people for some reason. I love
My
that.
whole thing is I'm worried that that's like Utani,
Right.
and I'm worried because like Alien versus Predator Requiem and the fucking bullshit gay Alien Earth TV show. Both those properties have like a female Utani. Nothing against Utani being female, don't care. But to me, it's like, well, you should move away from the 2 worst Alien properties, in my view. So like, one way you can do that is not making Utani a chick,
Yeah.
But
Oh, you mean that woman's literally Utani? I
yeah,
see.
she might. Yeah, that's
I
right. She
see.
might act like that. I don't know, but that's what some people are speculating.
I do see. I do like how like, at the end of Alien 3 when like Bishop Prime shows up. He's got a bunch of Japanese dudes with him.
Yeah, yeah,
It's just
yeah,
a nice aesthetic. It reminds me of like
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla, like the dudes who build Mechagodzilla, or Contact. There's a second device, a second
Yeah,
warp
it's
drive
built
build.
by
Who built it? The Japanese, the
Exactly,
shady
yeah.
Japanese
It-
built it in secret. I just love that aesthetic.
It just makes it feel like it's like some like world corporate conglomerate and like all these
Right.
yeah. So
Gives it this Blade Runner vibe all of a sudden. Japanese people.
but I don't know. To me, that looks like it's gonna be fucking solid. And then
Yeah, the first game rules, man. I've beaten it so many times on Nightmare mode and shit.
Oh, same, dude.
Love it.
Same. Like I know that game like to the back of my hand. I fucking love it. So I'm more than excited for the next one. And then the 2 other games, Resident Evil Code Veronica remake, which is just called Resident Evil Veronica,
Yeah.
and Ill. Have you guys seen the trailer to Ill? That horror
I haven't seen
game
that
coming
one.
out?
No.
Oh my god, it looks so fucked up but cool. You should check that out. Like it looks great.
I saw one. I don't play a lot of games either these days, but I loved Shadow of the Colossus back in the day. And apparently, the guys who made that are making some kind of weird, like, sci-fi version of it or something. I don't know. It looked similar. Robot giant, like you're fighting a giant robot or something. Same
Okay.
people. So I don't know. That looked interesting.
Well, because historically the game that came after that was The Last Guardian, and it like was in development hell for a while, and ended
Yeah.
up sucking, so it kind of killed the whole studio.
Yeah.
But
I don't know
no,
nothing
yeah,
about that.
Oh yeah, well that's because it was. I think it was at the dying end of the PS3, so most people never played it. But yeah, Code Veronica. First of all, I was right off the bat they're adding some like creepy old woman, which is fantastic. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how the bomb your speaker is connected again. Apparently, you weren't connected for a little while. I'm wondering how much of that game is going to get changed, though, because there are some
Yeah.
things that, nowadays people would be like, oh, that's problematic. There's quite literally a scene where
She
Claire
says she's all like
yells,
cross-dressing freak.
yeah,
or
you
something.
cross-dressing freak.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like, I'm wondering how much of that is going to be changed, because part of the creepiness of Code Veronica is the weird nature of the
Yeah.
Ashford twins.
No, yeah, exactly. And everyone says, "Oh, well, it's the Japanese. The Japanese don't care about that." And it's like, well, that's true, but the Japanese still they have to cater to our market still. And like to me, I love the Resident Evil 4 remake, but they definitely did tone down like the Ashley stuff in that
Yeah.
in that they made her smarter and like the first
Less
time.
less of a sex symbol.
Yeah, the first time Leon tells her to hide, she like flat out goes, "What? Yeah, okay."
It's
And
like
it's
you were
"Fuck
just
you,
kidnapped,
bitch."
lady. Like what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And like they don't have like any of the titty jokes and like any of that stuff. The
Yeah.
Japanese like they didn't like
I see
fully
he equipped
compromise it, but
daughter with ballistics too.
yeah, exactly. And that's part of the charm of what the original Resident Evil 4 has. And like that to me in the remake, them toning that down, it kind of did take away from it a little bit. I still like it, but that really is annoying. But because they did that for 4, I I do think that they are going to like take some
I
of that
wouldn't
stuff
be
out.
shocked if Code Veronica is significantly different than
One
the
hundred
original.
percent. Yeah. I mean,
There was a couple things I hope that they change for the better. Like Steve Burnside needs to
Oh
fucking be
yeah.
a better character. He's
Yeah.
possibly the most annoying character in the history of that series. In fact,
Uh,
I've only played through Code Veronica maybe in my life 3 times because I can't stand him.
I've never finished it because I mean I've seen other people play through the whole thing, but
The end. So the one of the problems with Code Veronica is that you can get soft locked really easily in that game,
yes, yeah.
and it sucks when you because it's such a it's very much a game that you have to have multiple saves just to be safe.
100%. Yeah.
And it was a product of its time. It was the time when when they were still making games for like true game the true fans of the game and not trying to do mass appeal. But there is some really cool aspects to Code Veronica that's really the everyone points to the first game as the origin point of Wesker being what he would go on to be, but really
No,
it's
it's
Code
just Code
Veronica.
Veronica.
It's
Yeah.
the hate, the insane hatred for Chris, the Matrix powers all started there. It was
Yeah.
the it's one of those games I'm glad they're redoing it because of the fact that it might take the sting out of replaying it.
Well,
I,
yes, and I think that it has the like the story elements are there to make it cool. Like you can see how you can actually remake it and make it better. You know.
One of Wesker's best lines is in that game. So there's a sequence. Obviously, you haven't since you haven't beaten it. I'm not sure how far you got into the game.
I've seen I know what happens. I've watched plenty of playthroughs.
So yeah, when you catch up, it's toward the end, and Wesker has a little fight with Alexia, and then he notices Chris is there. He's like, "Chris, you're my best man. I'm out of here. See you later." Just like it's very
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah.
Skeletor of him. It's like until next time. It's just and yeah, I mean, but there was some of the coolest villain design, like monster designs, were in that game. Like the
Yeah,
Danders matches were really fucking cool looking.
they took the whole like gothic horror approach, and so that kind of was reflected in the creatures in that particular one.
To this day, I think if I like so I've seen this before where people mentioned, you know, like, oh, we wake, which if you like woke up and you realized you were in one of the places, one of the iconic locations from the game, which one are you hoping it is, or which one are you like, or I guess in reverse, like which one is the one that's freaking you out the most? And a lot of people would say like RPD or, you know, Spencer. I think the freakiest location, just the overall creepiest location in the entire series is Alexia's mansion to this day. Giant fucking doll hanging from its neck right in the middle. The like you said, the gothic style, the fact that they have these creepy kid playrooms above their
Yeah.
bedrooms. It's the whole thing is just it evokes such a weird feeling, and I think it I'm hoping that maybe they have an iconic situation like that,
Yeah.
because that was one of the things that was missing from a lot of the later games, was that iconic opening room, that first location where you're like, nope, I know exactly what this is. So,
Yeah.
and also I would love to see a sequence where, because they only imply it but they never actually show it, I would love to see Birkin just seething like at the what is it, like Umbrella headquarters, just seething over a 9-year-old being smarter than him would be fantastic. Because there's the whole thing where he's the prodigy. He's like 15 years old, and then Alexia comes along and she's like 9, 10 years old and smarter than him and leading the team, and he just hates her. What I wouldn't give for him to just have this one-sided hate relationship with a 9-year-old.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They're definitely going to take the more stripped back approach, though. I mean, you know, I love the opening of the original game, like that whole John Woo-esque action sequence with Claire running through the
Mm-hmm.
building and the helicopter outside. And part of me is like disappointed that they're not lead. It doesn't look like they're leading with that, and because that's such a cool, iconic opening. And
It's because they stole it for one of the movies, so it's they. I forget which movie. I think it was
oh
like a
yeah, that's true. That's
it
true. They
was this
kind
it
of
was a
did.
random sequence, and they stole it for, I believe it was the second movie.
Was it
And
two? For some reason, I keep thinking of four, but I don't know.
no, I think it was two. I'm pretty certain it was, if I
You're
recall correct.
probably right.
And I remember watching it. I was like, that's one of the coolest sequences in Resident Evil history, and you just used it on the dumbest fucking possible
Well,
scene.
as much as I love shit like that, and it's just more that's definitely a product of that time, like
Hmm.
the style of that, the execution of that. But it also it's kind of like, ah, man, it sucks that things aren't that way anymore because that's when shit was like really cool.
They were
Um,
really trying to push the envelope with the graphics for those scenes
the
as
cut
well.
scenes, yeah,
Yeah, I
exactly.
mean at the time, now you look back at them and you're like, whatever. But at the time,
Oh, it was,
that
yeah, it was cool.
Metal Gear Solid 2, like they were
Uh-huh.
coming out, these games that were coming out were like, we were like, this is the real world right here, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, even when Resident Evil 2 came out, like the first one has like the cut scenes with the actual actors, and then the second one they did like CGI animation, but it was cool, like the camera angles and like all the stuff that they did with it. It was pretty groundbreaking at the time. So I'm still hopeful for it, and I'm excited to play it. Again, if any of the Resident Evil games deserved a remake, it would be that one. So I'm glad that they're remaking that one and not five.
It did annoy the shit out of me that they just flat out skipped that one to go to 4, and it was like, guys, we like, I understand that 4 was like the cash cow, but it was going to be a cash cow no matter what. But
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
in hindsight, we now realize the reason why they did it was because 9 was lined up to be basically 2, 4, 9 was the storyline that they were
yeah,
going for.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
Flat out skipping, what was it, 8, or no, sorry, 6. Flat out
I mean,
skipping 6, pretending it
they
doesn't
still did
exist.
do three, even though that's just pretty much a glorified DLC. But
Yeah, and you want to talk about wasted scenes? There was so many wasted scenes in that. The iconic line of "You want stars" being a scene that could actually be missed. Quite literally, if you get hit by the wall, you get missed. But anybody else have anything else in the open
Well,
period? Or?
if you're not the biggest Xbox fan, at least people know, like in the zeitgeist of Gears of War and that trailer for E Day. Holy shit! Like,
Didn't see it, so you
it
have to tell
looks.
me.
It looks like it's because well, Dom. I mean, spoilers. Dom dies in Gears of War 3, so it's a prequel. But the mechanics, the jumping for the first time in Gears history, the
yeah,
graphics, it looks like it's one of the games where they're doing a 12-player horde mode for the first time in the franchise history. It's one of the games where if you don't know you play Gears of War, you know Gears of War. It looks like it's a day one release for most people.
Is it going to be day one for you? I was like not sold when they had like the black lesbian chick. I was kind of
Oh,
like, yeah, I'm done.
I mean, the footage I watched is because I just seeing Dom and Marcus doing like the upgraded mechanics, them jumping around, like it just the 4-player co-op. Like I'll buy it just because of the co-op mode.
All right.
Well, honestly, that's always been the thing that people really buy Gears of War for is the
Yeah,
co-op
it's
mode.
co-op. Yeah.
After
Yeah.
I mean, the very first one was a lot of people love the story, but almost everybody I've ever talked to about Gears of War, you'd ask them about the story of the second and third game and stuff. They're like, I don't know, I just played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just played the same. It's got the Call of Duty syndrome where most people don't even play the campaign. But anybody got anything else? Or are we just gonna? call it a
I
night?
did find the gay quote Skeletor says in the beginning half of the movie.
Go ahead.
He's asking the Eternians, who took that sword, and you know who I mean. Muscles, the loincloth, olive tan, big, shiny sword. I was just like losing my
is what does it.
shit. I
it
was
wasn't,
losing my shit.
It wasn't gay
Yeah.
until the.
I know,
it's like
I know.
What's that character from Family Guy? The gay, like the gay pedo old guy.
He's also channeling like Stewie from Family Guy.
Oh yeah, but I'm trying to remember that character's name.
Olive tan.
I haven't watched Family Guy since like season 5, so I can't remember any of those characters' names.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The neighbor who, hey, why don't you get on down here? Ooh.
I got popsicles in my freezer. But yeah, that was. I remember watching that scene. I actually felt uncomfortable listening to him say that. So
I know.
it's like it's not a fucking it's not a cheeseburger, dude. Like calm down.
Dad, what does that mean? Said the kid next to him.
Well, that was
Dad,
the one thing a lot of people.
Dad,
I said if you
stop
wanted,
giving me a ream job, Dad. I told you to stop saying that when I'm scolding you. It's not. We're not gonna call it a ream job anymore.
But that was like the entry. Sorry, the barrier of entry for me for it to take your kids to. You have. I guess if you're taking like a teenager, if you're like, hey, I like this. You're like in your 40s, you have a teenage kid, and you're like, oh yeah, I love this when I was. And then they hear like a fisting joke. You don't really gotta explain that shit. You're like, you got Pornhub, I know. But
I think it's more awkward when they do understand what fisting is. That'd be weird. Your 6-year-old son's like fisting.
I think it's super. I mean, I think it's probably awkward, but I think it's more awkward if you have like a 5 or 6-year-old turn to you and ask you what it is in the middle of a room, and you have to be like,
So you punch someone in the butt, son, with love. Lovingly punch someone in the butthole.
He did fist a goblin.
Fist a goblin once. I do. The one that I did find funny, like it's like I said, it started funny, then it got bad. Then when it was give him head ram man was I like that one again when it came back around because it was almost it's one of those things. It's quite literally it's funny not funny again moment. So it's
I thought the
I just think
pussy
that-
joke was a bit much. Don't be
Oh,
a
about
pussy to
Cringer?
cringer. I was like,
Yeah.
really? I mean, there's no other way to cut that one,
I mean, there's a couple things I didn't get to mention before, but there was like certain aspects of the plot that made no sense to me that like I can't even ignore. So they fly down to the catacombs and they say something along the lines of like Skeletor would never look for us here, and I'm like, why?
Dude.
Why would he not look for you
The
there?
security on Eternia was like both ways, just so shitty. Like in the very beginning of the movie, Skeletor's people, they're just attacking. Okay, well, how the fuck did that happen? And then when Tila goes to get He-Man from Earth, and they come back, why does she fly so close to Grayskull? What the fuck? And then because of her, that's how they found where they were hiding. So it's like, bitch, this is all your fault.
It is weird because technically they show that he's not hanging out at Grayskull. They show that Skeletor is still ruling from Snake Mountain.
Yeah, but she flies in and she's like, "Oh, we should get out of here before."
Yeah,
why did you even go there in the first place, idiot?
Yeah, that was
stupid.
really dumb because they could have easily wrote that off with a line of being like, "We're safe because he is abandoned Castle Grayskull."
Yeah,
That's all you
exactly.
need to do.
But they didn't do anything, and of course, it was all her fault that they found the hideout. They never point the finger at her whatsoever. That like never even comes up.
Something else I didn't like about Masters was Alison Brie was great. She understood the assignment, but I wish she was
I've
more
always had
evil.
a thing for Allison Brie, by
I
the
think
way.
Alison
Oh
Brie is
yeah,
great, and I think she's attractive.
I wish she
but
was
didn't think she
more
good in it.
evil. I
Yeah.
think Evil Lynn should have been like worse than Skeletor in some regards, you know. Instead, they
what's her
treat her
face?
like, oh, she's an abusive housewife. Oh yeah, you're talking about
Well, one of the problems with
Foster.
Yeah, she was.
Meg Foster.
She was
Yeah.
good. Meg Foster. Yeah.
one of the
They
problems with
thought
Evil
she had
Lynn
contacts. Those are her
Yeah.
real eyes.
one of the problems with Evelyn and Skeletor is that they kind of play the same role.
Dude, no one listens to Skeletor. His own people don't listen to him. They have to like turn to her, and then she like nods. Like, fuck that. Like, dude, this movie sucked, man. I will die on that hill. I fucking hated this
Dude,
shit.
funny story. Me and Dark Hour watched, did a commentary on my channel for Masters of the Universe like 3 years ago. It got copyright claimed by MGM like a
That
week before the
happened-
movie came out.
I'm telling you, that's what happened to my channel. I
Oh,
got
and dispute rejected too, motherfuckers.
I
But
got
the
a
video's still up,
copyright
so
strike.
who cares?
I got a
Strike.
copyright
Boo.
strike for my commentary on the Fantastic Four 94.
Fantastic Four.
Right around the time the new one was coming out. So that's one thing I would caution people.
Yeah.
If you have a lot of stuff, if you have something about an older movie that is kind of getting remade or revived.
Oh yeah, I
Be
took out all
aware.
the Tales from the Crypt episodes we watched because I saw they were going to be released on Shudder, and I'm like, well, you know what? That's fine. I'll just trim them all out. 'Cause you never know.
I'm sure that there's porn parodies of He-Man. It's kind of built in, but they're probably all of the gay variety.
Yeah.
I mean, the best ones are.
Yeah. In fact, actually, that's probably the only way to watch He-Man at this point. You know, it's like let's stop with the innuendo and just put it in your endo. There you go.
All right, there you go.
But was there anything else that we missed, guys?
I don't know.
Anything?
Really.
Bomb, you got anything? I mean, we'll go into our like what we're going to be working on next and stuff now, but
I can't think of anything. No.
okay, then we'll do the thing. Then we will officially plug our shit. This is everybody's favorite part because you get to tell us where you are, where we can find you, what you're doing, where you're going, who you're doing, who you're going, whatever it may be, and we're all sorts of out of order. So I'm gonna just go to my left or my right, I guess here. Review Bomb. What do you have coming up?
So I have various things coming up. I'm still juggling like 5 different videos that are in various stages of production. Currently working, those will be the James Gunn Superman. That'll finally, my video will be out. And Batman Returns, a movie that I've hated since 1990, whatever.
Based.
I
Fucking based.
finally am going to set the record straight on
How many people does
stupid
Batman murder
this
in that movie?
Batman Returns is just as shitty as Batman and Robin, just for different reasons.
Yes.
Can we all
hate
admit
movie.
that Batman Forever wasn't that bad?
I do.
It's
I would agree
awful.
with that.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's
No,
not
it
as
wasn't. But it
bad.
wasn't as bad as people make it out to be.
No, it is. I tried to watch it. I was going to do a video on it when I heard that Val Kilmer had passed away. It's kind of like a tribute or whatever. And tried to watch it, and I was like, "This is unwatchable."
I've always said
Watch
Val
it.
Kilmer plays a fantastic Bruce Wayne, but he was not really a good Batman.
He was
That's
on it.
that's a fair statement.
We all need to learn, us of the people that are our ages, that everything that we liked when we were younger was actually really terrible. We just need to come to terms with
Well,
that.
I've
'Cause
always
as-
said that. I've said that an overwhelming majority, like 80% of the things we grew up with, fall into the just kind of okay to below average range, and there's almost every like 80% of movies are in that range, and then like there's 20% that are really good and 20% that are just god awful.
But anyway, if you're interested in my channel for whatever reason, if you are, God help you, you can look me up on YouTube just by typing in Review Bomb. If you do, I'm the first thing that'll pop up. And you can go from there. Please like, subscribe, and all that other stuff so I can be rich and famous and make my own failed YouTube
movie.
movie. Yeah. Shelby Oaks 2. Revenge of the Shelby.
Chris.
Lego Batman, it is fantastic. Buy that game. Everyone should be playing it. And the fact that there's a scene where you're fighting Penguin. At one part, he tells Batman, and he's like, anyway, I started blasting. I'm like, they actually did an Always Sunny joke for fucking
I
Batman
saw
Returns.
I saw somebody showed me that it's the like Joker cheeseburger meme appears.
Yeah.
Have you yeah, like I said cheeseburger,
Like,
that like Mexican Joker.
at one point was Ra's al Ghul tells Bruce he's got a particular set of skills. I mean, fucking, there's so many meta references. Like, they mix Batman Begins with the Tim Burton Batmans with Batman. It's every Batman iteration combined into one Lego game. It's fucking epic. Oh my
That sounds
god.
dope.
It is. It's like my kid. Whether your kid is 5 or you're 85, everyone can like Lego Batman.
It's called Joker Kitchen Crazy Hamburger. Anybody who's never seen it, go look it up. It's they've actually the memes that they've acquired for this game are fucking
Yeah.
fantastic.
I mean, I'm only 10 hours in. I can't wait to just keep playing more. It's
Well, that's
great.
always been the Lego games, though. They lean
Oh,
into that stuff. They lean into the pop culture aspect, like
yes.
the stuff that people said about things.
Yeah, I think my only criticism, and guys, it's 2026. I'm not alone. My kid, we played some couch co-op. Get some online co-op, guys. Come on, it's 2026. I have so many friends I would love to play Lego Batman with on PS5 or Xbox or something.
It's like the exact opposite of what a lot of people would have said like 8 years ago. They'd be like, "Oh, all this online co-op. I would like to just play with my friend next to me."
Yeah.
Now everyone's like, "I don't have friends. I need online."
Well, the problem is because like when some of your buddies move out of state or they move to different areas, like it's, but
Or they
yeah,
get
this is-
married and their wife won't let them come play video games anymore.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
This is the advantage of not having friends. I don't need to worry about that though.
Yeah. So, and this week comes out Disclosure Day, Steven Spielberg's first film since Fablemans in 2022. I'm
Yeah.
curious. He's back to Aliens. It might not be good. It probably won't be, but I'll go see it and make it short. So,
It's
I
another
have
one of
faith
those
in
ones.
Janus.
It's
Janus, his
one of those,
cinematographer. I love him.
It's one of those movies. Honestly, it kind of falls into the same category as, in terms of marketing, at least, not obviously
Yeah.
style, but marketing as what Backrooms did, where they're giving you very minimal of what the fuck it's about, and,
Yeah.
and kind of hoping you want to find out. They're just like,
bro.
once you find
The
out, you'll-"
Matrix.
yeah. I like that style of marketing because I don't like trailers that give away a bunch of shit.
Well,
I'm over it.
I heard that. I don't know if it's one of the final trailers or if it's like a TV spot or something. But I heard that they revealed what the alien looks like or the alien.
Oh, that's not
Sort
good.
of.
Yeah,
I did not see that. Shut.
I haven't seen it either. I'm
Yeah.
going to avoid it, but that's what I've heard. So
That's the thing is, I would rather be disappointed by a movie I know nothing about
Yeah.
going into it than the reverse.
yeah,
Being like okay with a movie that I saw most of it in the trailer. You know,
Yeah, true. Oh, I'll say, like you said to Ross, that this film called The Furious, the trailer looks badass. No marketing, but it could be an underrated action film this year. I want to see that. I'll probably
it's
see it
very much
Friday.
in the vein of the Raid.
Yeah, which is
Redemption, so.
which is
The-
fine though. You know?
I heard it's pretty solid through the festival circuit. So
Nice. Yeah, I'll check it out. So
Honestly, that formula, that like fighting, basically a live action video game formula of just fighting through crowds and shit, it works with those
dope,
Asian
yeah.
action movies.
oh, definitely.
I'll swing over to Stupenzo. Thank you for coming in, by the way. You weren't originally on the
Oh,
guest
thanks.
list.
Yeah, I was just in the chat. I got a link. I was like, okay, I'll pop in.
Oh yeah, I saw you. You had an opinion, and I threw you a link. So I was like,
Thank you very much. It's been fun. Yeah, I guess the one thing you got to take away from the show is go watch the movie Positions, man. I'm telling you, it's the funniest movie I've seen in 20 years. It's original. It's an up-and-coming filmmaker. Great soundtrack, great acting. The lead character kind of reminds me of Leon. It's basically Uncut Gems for crypto bros, but it's not a big bummer of a movie. Very funny movie. But yeah, I'll be on AJ's channel, Abomination AJ's channel, in about 2.5 hours. And tomorrow's We Watch movie on my channel is The Crow Wicked Prayer. Me and
nice.
Sammy three-peat watched that. It's got Tara
Is that the
Reid
third
and
one
Edward
or the fourth
Furlong.
fourth
Yeah.
one. That's the fourth one.
Third, Edward Furlong. Yeah, it's bad. But
Edward Furlong
that's
before
fun.
He gained 45 pounds and lost all of his teeth.
He looks like, so he puts his crow makeup on with a Sharpie, a literal Sharpie marker, and then he looks like Kristen Wiig in her like goth phase in Twilight when he's all crowed out. And like all the bad guys are like big muscular dudes, and he's like this little like Detroit Rock City kid, you know?
Dude, he looks like
It's funny.
he's got this face where he's just like looking to suck a penis the entire movie.
He looks like a little lesbian for
Yeah.
sure.
Those
He
two
looks weird with
statements
his new
are
teeth now.
mutually exclusive from one another.
We,
by the way.
you know, we do the shows, the Dork Side on Sundays, and recently we were following down his Japanese music career. Apparently, he was like a pop idol for a brief time in the '90s in Japan, and he has this terrible song, this terrible album he made with these awful singing. It's very funny. He was clearly abused by his uncle, who stole all of his money.
Sen.
It's pretty sad. But yes, Pressure also I heard was good. Yeah. But yeah, Positions is getting no
Don't
love.
you usually have a show going right now? What are you doing in my chat? Shouldn't you be on a show?
Multitasking. But yeah, Sunday we streamed Sunday. We unlocked a Thursday show, so I'll be streaming Thursday as well, and that'll do it.
Okay. As for me, I've already actually started writing some of my Supergirl video because there's like things about the marketing and Tom King that I really wanted to say already. So I get the advantage of being able to say those things ahead of time. I have a feeling it's going to be a terrible movie. I'm also looking into maybe some shorter style of videos, only because I know that they probably will not do so good algorithmically because of the way my channel is set up, but I feel like the downtime between these long ass videos just kind of sucks because I'm always waiting for that project that I can, put out the 2-hour long video on. And, I want to give my subscribers something. So I'm thinking about maybe doing some character, like satirical character analysis, stuff like that. Which would be probably closer to like a 5 to 10 minute video, just a taste so people don't get bored in the middle. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this is going weekly. Obviously, there'll be weeks where we don't, where we'll still be off, but for the most part, it's going to be weekly. Obviously, Matt and Bobby are still my co-hosts, but people like Review Bomb, Chris, everybody who was on today is in some group that I have, whether on some form of social media, and I just give them an open invitation, and whoever wants to show up, do more commercials. Those are always keynote. The commercials are exclusive for the most part to the TV analysis, only because they make sense with that. I'm for Lanterns, I'm probably going to be so angry with that show, you'll probably get the best commercials I've ever done, because I just know for a fact I'm going to be pissed off at that show. That's the next big project. But in the meantime, and obviously Supergirl, but in the meantime, I'll do some other things. But that just leaves me to thank all my guests, the ones that are here and the ones who are no longer here. Then also my audience and everybody, my co-host, Matt, who was in and out today. It's always fun. It's never a dull moment on this show, to be honest with you. And I'm looking forward to getting more of a rhythm going by doing it weekly. But that being said, that's all we got for today. So, tits out.